So hello, welcome to World of WoqlCraft. Yeah, like today it won't be something very different. Like I mean, it won't be something massive. Cause just a reminder that if you haven't yet, go to Terminus Hub. Cause like we now have all these amazing things that I gotta show you. I gotta show again and again, but I gotta show So if you go to the website and if you go to Hub, and you'll see that now we have Terminus Hub, and it's a bit small. I think it's because of my screen. So let me make it bigger. I think it's loading, yeah, loading the background there. It's a little bit slow because I am streaming, so the internet is a little bit slow. But yeah, like we have all these, it's gonna be free if you have a Terminus DB console running. So if I have it like my 127, right? So yeah, if you have it, then if you have logged in, so now you can connect to Hub, and then I would use my logged in here. I think that's okay. Do I have to put in my email though? Oops. Yeah, I think I have to put in my whole email. Yeah, I have it saved here. So logged in, and yeah, so you see that we now have like all these stuff that you could basically. So this is all your stuff. You can clone the database from Hub. So like now we have a lot of stuff there, which is like these are the ones that we had before. We have the graph of IMDb. That's something that we've done before. We have the game upload, and also like Gavin also like uploaded DBpedia, which is amazing. It's super big though. Like if you download it, please be patient and wait for it to download. Also, this stuff that we have done before is already there. Yeah, so and more will be added, and you're also welcome to upload yours if you have any open data that you would like to upload. That would be great. And yeah, so that's all these things. You can see like I have uploaded a few as well, so you can upload them. Collaboration, I don't have anybody yet. I can invite people. Yeah, I don't have any like uh, collaborators yet. I do have Kevin here in the IMDb graph. Yeah, so yeah, now it's like better than ever. I think like this is all amazing things going. Yeah. So if you haven't done it yet, please go to Hub, play around, download stuff, and work on some stuff. Upload your data, share it with your friend. Yeah, that's all I want to say about Hub. The other thing is that something. Oh, my mouse is running low, so things may be very interesting afterward. I would see. So yeah, okay, yeah, things are like a little bit crazy. Okay, so what I'm going to show you today is something that is going to be new in the Jupyter Notebook, like in the Python client. So, Jupyter Notebook is Python, so that's something that I want to show. So, as you know, that actually Jupyter Notebook, we could render JavaScript like this, right? So actually, you can use the JavaScript Magic. We call that JavaScript Magic because the reason why this is possible is that because Jupyter Notebook is actually a web service. Okay, so it runs on your browser. So that's why actually like all these stuff, all these button and all this actually are a JavaScript. But of course, like Jupyter Notebook got its own back end, like it's used Tornado, which is a web framework in Python. So it's talked to the back end, right? So for example, if you have changed your code, you saved it, then of course like it would talk with the back end and it would change, because if you have tried to open a Jupyter Notebook file in a text editor, you see that it's actually a JSON file, right? So it will change the JSON file. So next time when you open this Jupyter Notebook file again, it knows that the code has changed, okay? So that's what you do if you save. Also, if you have to do like some changes, cut and paste, all this stuff. So these are all the stuff that happen in the back end. But everything that you interact with, all these are actually like the other front end, which is the JavaScript. So naturally, you can run JavaScript in your browsers. Of course, you can run JavaScript in your Jupyter Notebook, right? So the design of Jupyter Notebook lets you render JavaScript very easily using this JavaScript magic. Okay. So So yeah, so what we could do is that we could, write JavaScript. So this is all JavaScript, right? So I'm not an expert. I'm just like following a tutorial online to do it with the help of my colleague. um, and then, well, you can write a bunch of script. This is something very similar to what we have done in the TerminusDB console. So if you remember the first generation of the console, we have a graph representation, right? So even now we have something, but of course, like all these stuff will come in. That's why we're working on it right now. So all this stuff, for example, if I click on the bike tutorial, that I think I do have my local copy here. Do I have to clone again? I don't think I have to clone again. Yeah, I have the byte graph. I actually have two. Let me open the old one. So, oh no, maybe the new one, because the old one consists of lots of data. The new one is a smaller version of that. Okay, so if you go to query, so if you do some query here, so maybe just like wacko.triple. Oh, not here. Sorry. Wacko.triple. Just like VA. And then, so basically we are just getting anything, okay, from the graph, and then we see here. Then if we execute it, we have all this stuff. You can actually see it in the graph view, but now it's a bit crazy, right? So it's just like a bunch of dots. So the view script is not coming into console yet, but it's there. It's there. Like we are working on it to make it in console. But because it's there, it can work in Jupyter Notebook. So let's go to our Jupyter Notebook. So this is actually the result that you get back. So when you run the query like I did before, that if you run the query, that actually you would get a result back like this. So it is a JSON coming back from the API there. And then you can actually, this is all JavaScript again, because we have the terminus client in JavaScript, and then because the script is there, we could actually do the same thing, right? We can render the graph. So these are all the codes that render the graph, and then we would just load it in the output here. So let me try to run everything. So you see that we do have a graph. So this is very similar to what we had in console, but of course, this is smaller. This is just a demonstration. So you can see that everything here is relatively smaller. Yeah, this is a very small result, okay? So what's about this is that actually I can change the view of this thing, okay? I can change the view of this thing. I want to, like, for example, I want to have, like, for example, if I want to have only a few nodes that I could have, maybe I just want a person. Okay, so dot edges. So I just want person and oops, just one person and name, let's say. So if I run this, yeah, it would change, okay? So it would just have the person and the name. And I can even, I can even change it into like maybe selecting the node of person, okay? And I want the size to be 20. And then I want the color to be, yeah, to be, let's say, red, okay? Right, so I can also do this. Oh, this is not happening for some reason. Person size. Maybe I can't do it this way. Maybe I have to use icon. And then this needs to be a color like that. Yeah, I think. Let's see if that works. Well, it's not working for the moment. I don't know why, but uh, let's see. We'll see it in the next example, I think. Yeah, maybe this size is really like changing things. Well, we will see afterwards that like how it works, because this one is just an example here. And so what happened is that we could actually do this. So this is our bike graph. Okay, so you have seen this before. This is our bike example that we render the bike thing. Remember, we have the station, we have the bicycle that go from station to station. So if we run all, okay. Oh yeah, I know why. Like I was rendering the wrong JavaScript. That's why the other one wasn't working. So yeah, but anyway, this one is working because because I rendered the right script for this one. Right. I think that's why. Yeah. So yeah, this one you can see that I can change the icon of it. Right. I can change the icon of it. I can change. Actually, I can change the size as well, the weight, all this stuff. But the color is not really changing. Oh, because I use a emoji, so the color of the icon is not changing. But can I change the color of this bubble? Let's try. I want it green this time, maybe. Maybe like 33, 255, 33, something kind of like. Yeah, so now I can change it to green for the ending. Is this so ugly, man? This is so ugly. Let me change it a little bit more. It's still very, very green. Oh no. Maybe not so harsh. 105. Right, okay, that's better. I don't like that green. This is too green. Okay, so yeah, like you can change the color of it. And yeah, and like you can actually hide some nooks. Here we actually only select, I think, yeah, this is actually not needed, the start label and the end label, because only select the start and the end edge here. And then what we do is like we would just, for the end nook, we would change the color of it. We would use the flag as the icon. And then text, this one is not done yet actually. So the size, we have changed that. And the charge is basically like say the distance between these two. Okay, so when it got rendered. Um, and the start, of course, the same thing that is got changed. And the collision radius, again, like this, how far this two should be apart when it got rendered. Yeah. So all this stuff is like it allows you to change the look of the graph. Okay. So yeah. So this is what we have been doing, and I will show you how it is actually like go from this. This is JavaScript. Like why we can write it in Python. So this is actually in Python, right? So this is just like you have to create the view object, and then you can just use it like in JavaScript, but this is actually in Python, and then you just have to show and then put in the result there. Because we actually this is not what. So this is just a copy of the script that I wrote. So basically, yeah, this is just like if yeah you can import it. Probably you're not doing yeah you're not doing the correct thing. Yeah, you're not doing the correct thing from the from the script. So that's why like yeah, if you're not using Jupyter Notebook, we just forbid you to do that. And then what we do is that we will have the JavaScript thing here that actually is wrapped in JavaScript. This is a function that's provided by IPython, and also display. Basically, it would display is kind of like print, but it's telling Jupyter Notebook to render the result rather than printing things out. So actually, print is also a display, but in a text format. So, but this JavaScript we want it to get rendered because this JavaScript should actually create an effect, which is yeah, which is just calling this script as the JavaScript script. So that's why we do this. And this is exactly the same like what we did before here in this script. Yeah, I think you've seen it. And so when you create an object, it would just like call in the libraries that is needed, or these are JavaScript script that is hosted somewhere. Well, we would host it properly somewhere. Now it's just hosting on our personal server. Um, and then the edges, like this is all these are the methods that we have created. This is actually what is equivalent to the JavaScript one. So you see that actually I just change it into a script that I can import. Later you'll see I can import this script. We are constructing a JavaScript to customize the look of the D3 graph that we have built. Okay, so all these other methods that are doing the same thing. Yeah, of course, I have to tidy up a little bit again as well. But we are doing it bit by bit. But it's like the basics works now. So when you do the show, you have to put in the result, and then it will get rendered. So this is actually what this one is the settings, the setting that we have built with the other methods that we called in. So these are the config that we've built, and also the result would be plugged in as well here. So yeah, and okay, so print is just handy, so you can print out the script to see like whether you have made a mistake or something. It's mainly for me to debug. um, so yeah, so that's it. Like, so that's the thing that we have done so far. Let me know if you like it or not. I hope you like it, and I think this is cool to finally have a visualization in Jupyter Notebook, and this is quite a nice visualization as well. Like the problem for me in like working with knowledge graph in Jupyter Notebook is that it doesn't have a very good visualization. Yeah, it always, I've tried to use Network X before. That it's not that the visualization is not that nice. You can't really customize it that well. This one is like a GUI. You can basically change things. So if text, we have fixed the problem with text, you can also show the name. And actually you can like, change this. But now it's just an icon, but you can say this is the end station or start station, things like that. Um, yeah. You could even use the label, I think, like as the thing. So yeah, so we are still working on that, but I think this is a very good visualization. You can zoom in, zoom out, like you can't do that with Network X. So if you have lots of nodes with Network X, it was just like gather up like a bunch of them. So for this, it's quite nice. You can have more information about this showing on the graph, and yeah. So I think it's very good to have. It's something that I've been dreaming of since the first day that I joined. I was like, I really wanted to be in Jupyter Notebook, and it's there finally with the Python client. So I think the next step we would do is that, of course, we still have to make this better. Next step with the Python client, I think it will be a CRI tool that people can use it, to manage the database without, using the script all the time. You can just type it in the terminal. I think that would be quite nice to do. So a few commands that actually render a few things like branching, merging, things like that. Um, yeah. Also, Smart Query is still under development. So like, there's a lot of things going on in the Python client. So and I think together with Hub, this is gonna be great. And also, like, if we have the CRI, we actually want things to be done like more or less like Git. So you can do all these things with Hub directly. If with CRI, that would be great if you can do that. But so far, we have like all these stuff on Hub that I think is amazing that you could just download, data from it and collaborate. I think that's great. And yeah. So I think that's it from me today. It has been really short, this World of WoqlCraft thing, because I don't have that much time to build tutorials recently because I am busy with developing the Python client. But we may get back into building more tutorial and use case. Actually, I think that I want to do more tutorial in solving problems. So if you have any problems that you think is a good if you think that is a good use case, that like you have a problem that you think that graph database could help you to solve, let me know. You can like find me on Twitter. You can find me on the join our Discord community server. You can ping me there. Um, yeah, I would like to get more ideas. So when I go back to maybe have some bandwidth to deal with the tutorials, then I could do that. Let me know what you want. I'll try to do some stuff that is interesting to people, useful to people. And I think that's it. And if nothing else, I will see you on Sunday. Okay? So take care and have a nice weekend. Bye.